Greetings and salutations, my fellow earthlings. I'm Jenny King. I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I'm an aroma point therapist. I teach Qigong, and I'm also a moon guide. It's a lot of things, but at the core of all of this is helping you find your vitality and place to kind of go and collect yourself in this world. It's a wild and hairy ride. So let's have some tools in our medicine basket to help us live our best life and to stay connected with ourselves and our heart, so that we can be who we need to be a beacon of light in the world, and also to find some space for comfort as well. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about aroma point therapy and a single oil and acupoint combination. And aroma point therapy is putting essential oil on an acupoint. It's kind of like giving yourself acupuncture, except for the fact that instead of a needle, we're using an oil, and the oil has its own personality. So we're matching an oil's personality and we're putting it on an acupoint. And there's always this alchemy that happens. It's really beautiful. And I'm hosting a ritual this Sunday, March 20th. And this ritual is an aromatic ritual for spring, and one of the oils is coriander seed. And coriander seed, we're going to use this on our belly button today in this short video. And coriander seed, if you're not familiar with it, it's not, one of kind of an oil that we use a lot, or it's out there in the mainstream, but it's similar in its aroma chemistry to bergamot and lavender, which are pretty mainstream, and people have a history or a relationship often with those two oils. And if you can imagine, those two oils, bergamot and lavender, are popular because they are so soothing. They're uplifting and soothing. And coriander has that same sort of feel to it. It's very, it has a sweetness to it, which is what we're going to talk about today, because I think its sweetness is really where its strength is. And we're going to place it in our belly button. And it's coriander seed, this one that I'm using it at a 30% dilution. So that means I'm using 30% coriander seed, and I'm using 70% carrier oil, which I love jojoba. That's my favorite carrier oil because it doesn't go rancid like a lot of the other ones do. And so at this dilution, we're just using it on a single point. We're not rubbing. That's a really high, considered a high dilution, that we would never rub that over an area of our body. But for a single point, we can definitely do that. So I'm going to take my coriander and I'm just going to place it on my finger, my index finger, just like one drop, maybe two, because it's a big area that we're kind of covering. And I'm going to place it right in my belly button. I'm below camera because the belly button is a very vulnerable area. And even I feel vulnerable showing you my belly button on camera and putting it on YouTube. Call me old fashioned. But so I'm going to keep my belly button below the camera just so I can kind of hang out in my own space and keep it private for me. So you will be in your own home and have the privacy of your own home, but you're going to take your coriander seed and you're going to place it, and you're just going to rub kind of around your belly button. You can kind of get all the way in there if you want to. And then rub your hands together a little bit, giving them a little bit of warmth. And then place one hand over your belly button and then the other hand on top of it. And closing your eyes, turning the gaze internal. So when we close our eyes, we're shifting from the outside to the inside world, so that we can hear what's really happening in our body. We get so busy that we forget to check in. So this is our check-in. Coriander seed is a spice. What do spices do? They bring a little bit of warmth. They help break things down. They're comforting, put spices in comfort foods. As you put it in, you were just feeling what the coriander wants to do in there. My belly is starting to rumble a little bit. And I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this oil and point combination. And coriander seed, the sweetness, the sweet fragrance, the sweetness that it brings in So you can feel it for yourself. Even if you don't have this oil, just placing your hand over your belly button. And even just saying the word sweetness. And what would that feel like in your body? We spend so much time giving to everybody else. What would it feel like to turn that back and really give yourself that nourishment, that sweetness on a cellular level? Right? We have our hands on our belly, and our belly is where we take our food in. It's where we break things down and make them ours. So breaking down some of that giving, that thing that we give everyone else, and letting it sink in, letting it go through the walls of your small intestine, letting it go into your bloodstream, letting that blood go to every cell in your body, letting every cell in your body take in that sweetness. So often when we're reaching for something else, what we really are is looking for that feeling of feeling satiated. We feel like we're not enough or we don't have enough. So coming back home, placing our hands on our belly, creating satiety on a cellular level by bringing in the sweetness to every single place of your body. From the center outwards. I'd like to bring my hands together. This is a little qigong. So I'm bringing the energy, warmth, the yin and yang energy together. And a lot of times I'll can massage your face and your head. It's again, when we close our eyes, we shift from the outside world to the inside world. And when I do this, massaging my face and my head, I'm shifting back from my inside world to the outside world, so that I'm now looking at you through this camera. And again, this is just a simple practice with or without the oil. I would highly recommend getting the oil, because these oils really help us shift in a way that we may not be able to get to on our own. They create this little blueprint. They create an invitation and an opening for an energy that we may have never known how to access on our own. And there's a lot of beauty in that. And they offer the invitation to step into that space. And while you can do this practice without the oil, it really amplifies it with the oil on the point. And like I said, I'd like to invite you to come join me this Sunday, March 20th. We're in 2022 from 11 to 12:15. I'm doing an aromatic ritual with 4 oils: bergamot, coriander, atlas cedarwood, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Blue tansy. Oh, and what I'm showing in this ritual is what a healthy expression of spring and expansion looks like. So we're rooting, we're creating nourishment, we're opening perspective, and we're creating some flow. And that's what we're doing on Sunday. So if you'd like to join me, I'm going to put a link to my website in the bottom, and you can check out more. And I not only have this ritual, but I also have a full, just simple course going over the ritual, going over each oil, each acupoint, and just talking a little bit more about spring and how spring energy and how growth energy can really, you can use it at any time, not just spring, but spring is the time we can tap into and learn this energy, because it's all around us. And then any place in our life, you can use this aroma protocol and use these 4 essential oils to help you with growth and movement, and in really setting a healthy growth, not a mindset, but it's more of like a template, a body template, a body mindset, a body set that you could use during the spring or anytime that you're going into an extended period of growth. So I hope you join me, and thank you for listening. And I will see you next time. Take care.